Hey everyone, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. So, the other day, I had someone message me and ask why I still talk about education and teacher centric topics despite not being one anymore. And fair enough, when this episode comes out, I'll have been out of the classroom for well over 3 years, so I'll grant the person the question. But my answer is actually both straightforward and a little complicated, so if you'll bear with me, I'll explain my response to that question. I became a teacher for a variety of reasons, such as a sense of altruism, a desire to give newer generations the same or better opportunities than I ever had, and to enrich people's lives. It might be a bit of a cliche, but teaching was a calling. People who never wanted to be teachers or who exist outside of education probably will never quite understand that we were willing to put aside so much of ourselves in the pursuit of educating everyone else's kids. It's why so many people often refer to teachers as, saints or the like. And the simple answer is that feeling of wanting to make things better never really went away. I care about people and I care about the future of the world. I still want kids to be educated, form their own opinions, pursue whatever they want in life, and grow into productive future citizens. It's why I don't regret spending all the time to become a teacher or regret the lives I touched and made better through my efforts in the classroom. But as I said in the video on if I could ever see myself being a teacher again, I don't feel the calling to teach anymore. It's sad, but the public school system wore me down and left me with crippling mental health issues, which took a lot of therapy to overcome. What I do regret, though, is not leaving sooner and realizing earlier that the profession was going in the wrong direction for educators. Teaching is no longer the fulfilling career it once was, where despite the low pay, long hours, and lack of respect, we still, for the most part, felt like we were moving forward and making that difference we stereotypically set out to do when we got our teaching credentials. But that's not what education is anymore, and it's not being discussed by anyone really in the mainstream media or among the general public. Sure, they mention our struggles, but really don't understand them all that much. There's a societal disconnect with how education is in the minds of ordinary people and how it actually is for teachers these days. So, why do I still talk about education despite having transitioned out a few years ago now? To call attention to the real problems in education that so few people seem willing to speak up and plainly talk about. One of the many reasons why I started this YouTube channel, began co-hosting a podcast, and became so vocal on LinkedIn and social media in general about teacher issues was to call attention to those problems. I even remember at the barber explaining to one of the customers why I would never go back to teaching, and the guy who asked said he didn't realize that things were really that bad. And that's been par for the course for most of the interactions I've had with the uninitiated. It's why these are conversations that need to be had. But even more importantly, I continue to be vocal about teaching and advocate so strongly for educators to help those still stuck and who want to get out. I left pretty much right in the middle of the mass teacher exodus that's been going on since January 2020. From day one when I got on LinkedIn, I was always so open, transparent, and genuinely raw with what I went through in the classroom and what it took for me to get out of there. There were certainly plenty of teachers who had transitioned out before me, but I found it difficult to make headway in getting a job or networking because a lot of those supports just didn't really exist yet. Sure, there were some teacher career blogs and the group therapy that I participated in for over a year, but not too much in the way of people just genuinely sharing their stories and committing their time to help others get out of the classroom. And that's what I took and ran with. To date, I've had probably hundreds of coffee chats with people who got them started on the process to leave the classroom, made who knows how many videos discussing the issues with the system and what you should do if you're looking to transition out, and have spent a lot of my own time being a resource for people, which clearly has resonated considering the hundreds who are now subscribed to my YouTube channel and well over 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. And on top of that, the request that I host a session for ATD in June on how to transition from the classroom onto LinkedIn and into L&D. So clearly this message still needs saying, doesn't it? And yeah, sure, my content has diversified to general career advice and my new job of instructional design, but such an integral part of what I do is giving back to people making the leap out of the classroom. Again, I'm still giving people the opportunities and support that I wished I had, huh? As they say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Teachers are still suffering. We're still not fixing the broken system, and we're still seeing massive recruitment and retention issues in education right now. Throw on top of that the calls to defund teachers or abolish the Department of Education entirely, and you might begin to see the depths that these problems reach. Like I've said ad nauseum at this point, there is no teacher shortage in this country. What we have is a shortage of teachers who want to be treated like disposable objects. I don't regret being a teacher. No, not at all. I'm sorry that education has forced me and so many others out of what we thought would be our forever careers. But we're not to blame for that, despite what anyone says. I will continue to fight and call attention to educator issues until we actually fix them and start attracting quality people back into the classroom. In the meantime, I still thrive helping others and giving them the tools they need to walk out of the classroom, find a new career, and get on with the rest of their lives, away from the mental health issues and toxicity they've finally broken free of. That's why I still talk about education all these years later. Well, guys, thanks for listening. If you could click the like and subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified about all of my content moving forward, that would be greatly appreciated. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover too, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I might just make your video. But for now, I've been Kevin, and I will see you in the next video.